be some flexibility. And I think with this new common core that we're going to besides past, I believe it's looking more at process than the actual solution. And that's where this will fall in. Your creativity will fall in to learn the process. How did you get at that answer? Well, in math class, I learned that half of 8 was 4. But then when a traffic sign, it would be different. Or a figure 8 on a racetrack. It'd be a figure 8. So I think we'll be getting more at that as we're making this shift. It looks like to me it's going to be more a process on how do we get that answer, which then will give me the opportunity to say, okay, 0. And how did I get that? Well, I took this and I cut that. That's how I got to that. Oh, well, okay. Then yes, you're correct if that's how you got to that, because it's not just the answer. So multiple answers sometimes give you a lot of information. The second, answers you get depend on the questions you ask. Play with the wording to get different answers. Change the words, the ways you do something. Invite people rather than dictate. Or couldn't we, or wouldn't we, or shouldn't we, or can't we, or why not, or any of those kinds of things to get people to think, it's not just one way. Challenge the rules you govern to use your day-to-day activities for originality. Drive a different way. Wear something different, different combination. Do something different in your life to get your creativity to come forward. So when I cut my hair off, it gave me more time in the morning so I get more sleep than you do. Simple thing. Elaboration, I didn't pay attention. So instead of looking like a gook all the time because I don't look in a mirror, I just cut it off. Also, it was in support of a friend's mother who had cancer, and she was uncomfortable shaving her hair off, so she wasn't quite so comfortable with it as silly as she did. And it was so much cooler, I stuck it. Plus, there are advantages. I read people think I'm a cancer survivor, so they're really nice to me. They open doors for me. There are some unusual benefits that I have reaped from just not having short hair. Besides, the kids ask me if I'm a man and if I'm Mr. Golf. So I don't pay anything for haircuts. I don't pay anything for haircuts.
Oh, okay. All right.
It works fine. Yeah, it's cheaper, and I get more sleep. And I'm always ready for a photograph. Wind doesn't bother me. I discovered that one day we were learning something and we were all outside and they were all like, oh, my hair is blowing like Gail. I was like, that's it. For once I'm okay with my hair. Otherwise I'll be like, yeah, it probably is. I don't know. So challenge your rules. Habit kills creativity. Very simple. And cultivate your imagination. Set aside time every day to ask yourself what-if questions with positive solutions. We're really good at asking questions with what-if negatively. What-if positively? What are those questions like? How do we get to that? Because I work in a positive environment, and I demand that it be a positive environment. And by being positive, that doesn't mean that we can't have discussions and we can't disagree. What that means is that we're focused on solutions rather than the problems. And I think sometimes we get really comfortable by going into the problem and staying in the problems, because then we really don't have to get into a solution if we stay in the problems. And if we're all sitting around talking about the problem, and we're all kind of on the same page, so we all feel kind of good about that, but then nothing really comes for that until the next time we get together, we kind of talk about that same problem. So it's kind of a cycle. So one of the ways I have low tolerance for staying in problems. I want solutions. I'm an inventor. I want to find how we can make it better. What can we do differently? How can we change that? So my emphasis in learning is going to require all of my students and workshops and everything that I do is that you've got to be positive. Just for the time that you're with me, if that's the only time you are. Because more learning occurs in a positive environment. And as teachers, that's what it's all about. So cultivate your imagination. And that's really what I work with and talk to kids a lot about is your imagination, or your imagination. Because if you think there's not an answer, not a solution, all it means is you're not using your imagination. There is an answer. Be creative. Think of something. Figure something out. If you get pigeonholed in and can't think out, it's because your imagination is there. When I do workshops on creativity with